All right, I didn't have everyone's attention. Call Peru City Board of Public Works meeting August the 3rd, 2021 to order. Reading and approving of minutes of the last meeting.
I make a motion that we suspend the rules and approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron to suspend the reading and the rules of the minutes and approve as written, seconded by Bill. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Payment of claims, $197,365.57.
I make a motion we approve the claims as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Ron to accept payment of claims in the amount of $197,365.57. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Passed. Regular payroll, $192,917.67.
65 cents.
65 cents, I'm sorry. $192,917.65.
Make a motion we approve the regular payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Bill. Pay the payroll of $192,917.65. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Helps when I get it a little closer, I can see.
Well, the next one has a 7 in it.
Yeah. Monthly payroll, $3,990.77.
Make a motion we approve the monthly payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Bill, seconded by Ron, that monthly payroll of $3,990.77 be paid. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on to pension payroll, $81,815.
Make a motion we approve the pension payroll.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Bill, that pension payroll of $81,815 be paid. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving right along, old business. Brought back from last meeting, the request by Betsy Smith to have streets and alleys blocked off for a statue unveiling, be down at the library.
Do we know if the state permit was ever obtained? No.
That was the group. The city really shouldn't be obtaining that, I found out.
Okay.
That's something they'll have to.
I can't hear what you're saying.
The city, I found out, isn't the one to apply for that. Simply because they
Who,
want
who would apply for it?
the party asking,
Okay.
your group, and they're gonna want a hold harmless sign, and they're gonna want a bond, and they're gonna want payment for it. The permit's $80. They're gonna want you to be bonded, and they're gonna want you to sign a hold harmless.
Okay, when did you find this out? Because I just talked to you like a couple weeks ago, and you
Right.
said you
I-
applied for everything.
Yeah, and I was wrong. When I contacted them within the last week, the hold harmless is the big thing. Because if they run, her words to me were, you guys would be diverting our traffic onto your city streets. And they don't want to be held responsible for anything that happens when that traffic moves over to a city street. The state does not want to be.
So what did they do for the circus parade? Did they make them sign a hold harmless?
I don't know about that. I have no idea, to be honest.
I didn't hear what you said.
What do they do when for the circus parade? I don't know if the state makes, I don't know.
They're not blocking off the street
They don't block.
for a church parade?
No, for the circus parade.
Oh, for a circus parade?
I don't know what their arrangement is.
I'm not sure. That's through the circus
Yeah,
themselves on that.
They would apply for the permit if one was applied for, correct?
right.
The city doesn't do that?
Yeah, simply because it's not our event.
Right.
But why did you say that you did, that you applied for it? What was your event, and why wouldn't you call me right away so I could work?
Well, when I talked to her this week, she said that's no problem. She said it's a 2-day process.
A 2-day
Yeah,
process?
she said, we're far enough out, if you guys have to do that, you're good. That's what she told me yesterday.
Because I feel like it lost like almost a whole month, because when I came to you
Yeah.
initially, you said we didn't need a permit.
Yeah.
And then I came to you, I called you twice after the last board meeting, and you said we're good to go and that you're getting a permit.
Yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, when the whole harmless thing came up, that's when the whole thing brakes got put on that.
Because you said you applied to everything, and that it was in the hands of the Board of Works.
Right, but when I called her again, and that's what she called, she sent me an email saying, we need a hold harmless, and that's where the brakes got put on my end, because I can't sign that. I don't have the authority to.
You mentioned the hold harmless when I
Right.
talked to you on the phone.
Right, but that's up to the Board of Works in the city if they want to take on that responsibility, not me, so.
Yeah, there won't be another meeting, will there be before the, oh yeah, there'll be one more meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be possible, there's no problem blocking off Huntington Street, the alleys, down to Clay. Would it be possible for us to block off in front of the library, the bike path,
Could,
to keep a safety barrier between the people and where the statue's gonna be? Would that create any problems down there?
could we do that without permission from the state?
Yeah.
Because that's
But
basically
we're
parking
not-
area.
Because we've dropped cones, while we're working, like we're painting parking spaces, because that.
Well, we're not blocking the highway
Right.
We're not blocking traffic.
by doing that.
I mean, I know it's still their property, but we're not disrupting the flow onto the city streets.
Right.
And it's a cushion barrier there, like where cars park. Actually, it gives you more of a safety barrier that way, because the cars park on this side of the bike lane. The bike lane's out here. You'd have everything from the bike lane over to the sidewalk.
Have you seen the project? Have you seen?
Yes,
it?
I have.
Okay,
Oh.
so it's very close to the street, close, it faces, Main
Right.
Street. And, we're expecting anywhere from like 400 to 1,000 people, so I'm just worried about the safety aspect of not having Main Street blocked off.
Our biggest problem was we would have to shut down.
I don't know why she reached
all
out
the
to
way
me.
back there.
Everything, every street. And we
Yeah.
probably have to
Okay.
barricade it on Fifth and Canal also. Simply because if the semi got in there, they would have to back all the
Yes.
way back.
Right, that's what you said
Well,
at the
no.
last.
Yeah, that's the
Majority.
problem. And
Well, you guys are the Board of Works and
Great.
Public Safety, so I mean, I'm coming to you with a safety issue and, I just, whatever you think would be an appropriate
Okay,
solution. Just Paul,
Good evening. My name is Alison Paul, and I'm president of the Library Board. I understand your concerns. Would it be possible, if we are unable to have the street blocked, to suspend parking on the side of the street? So that would be coming east
I mean-
from in front of the library?
That's
And that would be where the
west.
bike path is, so there would
So-
be, there's a lot of parking that's along that street. Could we do that?
That's what I just suggested.
Well, I
Coming clear out to the bike lane, because the parking's here, the bike lane is here. It would give us an added cushion all the way down through there.
But if I understand, you're talking about on the south side of the street, suspend that east parking there so we could shift everything even over further?
I wondered if you could do that, yes.
Could we do that with cones? And that way, because I see what she's saying, we could gain not only the parking on the north side, but we would gain that same width if we just shifted. Then we'd still have the 2 lanes, but we shift everything over further, we get a bigger cushion.
That's if you were unable to.
Right.
And that way, without having to detour or anything, too.
We would just be doing the parking part.
Well, I still think it would be safer if the whole street was blocked.
We
If
can't,
we're going to have school children
Once
running
again,
But-
around.
we can't block the whole street.
Well, unless they're, you
So
know,
unless there's a permit
but even
issue.
then, it's
Yes,
still
I
an issue.
understand about the
So-
equipment.
and that's something we'd have to check with them again.
To see if you could do
See if
the,
we can do that.
just shift it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, regardless what you do with the road, since it's an NDOT road, you'd have to have their permission, correct?
They're gonna wanna, I would almost. They're gonna wanna be notified. They're gonna probably wanna hold harmless, no matter what we do.
But do you do that when you're painting the side,
No, because we don't do any of the painting down there. We, years ago, we would maintain the parking spots for them right by the courthouse. But they have melted that down in almost a permanent type material. They melt it down. And we haven't had to touch that since the new pavement came through. And I don't anticipate touching it for another 5 years at least. But, you know, when we paint uptown, of course, on our streets, we actually go up there way before 2, 3 in the morning to do it. That way we won't have any traffic on the parking side, the parking spots. But when we paint stripes, of course, we just come down the road with a vehicle, air a vehicle behind it. But no, once again, it's an NDOT thing. I mean, it's just because they have, you know, right away, all the way up to your doorstep almost. All these roads that.
The next Board of Works is what, 17th? Do you have a calendar?
I don't have a calendar with me, so I think it's 17.
And one thing
Yeah.
the board could potentially do is prove the road being blocked off in the event NDOT issues its permit.
Or can you at least do the other streets?
And that's what I was getting ready to ask. We could take care of the parade, we could take care of Huntington Street, and I guess the only concern I would have, if we do, kind of like what we talked about before, if we do the entire alley, like you asked for, and the entire road between those 2 streets, then we blocked out those houses. So I guess which way would you want it? Would you want the whole road if that is available and half the alley, or you want the whole alley and half the road?
Whole road and half the alley.
So we could approve half the alley, we could do that from, say, the insurance office to the west, and then block that over there on the other side of Huntington Street, that alley, on that end of it, the north.
If we can't get anything done with Main Street, can we have the whole alley then, or?
I guess we could come back and ask to extend that then, right? I mean, probably just, would we have to have a new request, Dustin, or could we revisit that? If we approve that today as part of the alley, and then later we find out we can't get the closing of the road, could we just amend that?
I think you can just approve the closing of Main Street is what you're referring to, right? I think you can approve it contingent on NDOT approval or permit from NDOT.
But I think correct me if I'm wrong, Betsy, I think what you're saying is, if we do that, then I'm only willing to close the alley halfway, so the houses can still have
Okay.
access. But if we do that, and then they don't get the closing of the road, would we have to come back and extend the alley?
I don't necessarily think so. So what I think you could potentially do is, like I said, contingent upon NDOT approval, not vacate Main Street, but temporarily block off Main Street. In the event NDOT does not issue its permit or approval prior to this, the alley
They would
the
have-
alley in the entirety would be blocked off.
So just kind of do a contingent one
Yeah.
way or the other.
And just state in the motion that regardless of NDOT approval, or in the event NDOT does not issue its approval, the entire alley gets blocked off.
Instead
In the
of-
event of NDOT approval, only half.
Okay.
But now, without NDOT's approval, or without even asking, we can block off
Huntington.
Main Street where the parking is,
Do you,
on Main Street, as you do
That-
when you do painting and stuff without their
Yeah,
approval.
it's like, I said, drop
We-
cones down to the bleachers.
yeah,
Friday morning.
so we could approve that at least now, and then that could be part of the motion as well?
Yes.
Because that way we wouldn't have to,
At least you've got something definitive to work
Right,
with.
'cause this is my second trip here.
Right.
And I
Right.
hate to leave without a plan for the committee. And I've kind of gotten run around on advice on whether I need to get the permit or not.
actually, the ones that's been working on the statue and stuff should have been the ones taking charge on the unveiling.
Well, I'm the chair of the unveiling.
Okay.
I'm the chair of the unveiling ceremony, and so they thought, since I have a connection with you all, that I could maybe come in here and at least get the streets closed. I thought it would be much easier than.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it would be if it wasn't
Yeah.
a state road.
Right.
Yeah,
So
if
from the
it,
get-go, it's been like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And then it's been like, okay, we don't need a permit. We do need a permit. I'll take care of the permit. Now you guys get the permit. It doesn't matter. But it would be nice if, I think the way that Dustin figured it out, wording, that would be great if you guys could at least vote for it that way. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get the permit as well.
right. And this way, at least if we don't get a permit, we can still have everything. You're going to get Huntington and to Fifth Street anyhow. And either way, you're going to get part of the alley.
Okay, so
You'll get
Huntington,
at the
alley,
edge of the library. And now, I saw a schematic thing to where you're talking about 4 or 6 food vendors up in the parking lot. Is that still,
Yeah,
is that why you wanted all of the alley or most of the alley or?
yes.
Okay.
But I don't think we need to stop at the library. I think you said that the insurance office is on
Right.
board, so we can go at least to there.
Right.
Okay.
So, and that would help with, depending on how many people show up too.
We
But-
just wanted to, we have a lot of people coming, and, the lieutenant governor's gonna come, and, some senators, and Ethan Manning. We just want it to be nice, and we want it to be safe, number one.
With that being said, what we need to do is find out designated parking. By blocking off Huntington, are we going to let the senators and
We have a church that's letting them park.
so,
We have that figured out. There's a church nearby that's letting them park there.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
all
and
right.
then to manage the traffic, that's why we're doing the march from the Riverview Event Center, so most people can leave their car there and walk down.
Okay. With the march is going to be putting a lot of stress on a shortened police department. Hopefully EMA will be able to help a lot on that.
You'll have to talk to Chris, because I don't know who's, for sure right now, who's available during the day.
So,
He'll have that information better than I will.
I have, unless I'm convinced otherwise, I see where I cannot turn them down for their permit when we're turning down the churches for actually walking down Main Street and everything, and Broadway for their benefits. I understand it's a big headache, or it's going to be a big headache. But we might you know, even have to call in, see if the state would have any extra troopers or something that could come in and help during that time on this. Because when was your parade going to be, Betsy?
It's at 10:30.
And you're thinking an hour or a little over? Are the kids the ones going to be doing most of the?
Are they gonna do the march? It's
Yeah.
just a march. It's just like a bunch of people walking. It's not really a parade. It's just a bunch of people walking. I don't know. We have confirmation that North Miami High School, I think, is coming with their students, but I don't know if they're doing the march or if they're just coming to the event.
Okay.
And we might have some other schools coming too, because she was the first female ever on the school board here, so.
We may want to see about parking the school buses over on Fifth Street. Unless they want to be in the march. And the march is what's really going to be a big problem from the Riverview all the way down.
We're gonna stay on the river walkway.
You are going to,
Yeah, we're staying on the river walkway until.
and
we
then
get to Broadway and then
are you
turn.
going on down Canal?
No, we're gonna go on Broadway, then, like in front of the courthouse and then down to the library. that
Okay.
way.
Okay, so you're going to go on the walkway to Broadway, north to Main, and then Main to the library,
Yes.
to Huntington Street? Okay, do either one of the chiefs have anything on this to say, or you disagree, agree, or? I know it's putting a bind on both of you.
I believe we're fine. I mean, we'll do whatever needs to, we'll help whatever we can, to make it happen.
The biggest problem is just the unknown, whether the street's gonna be closed, that who's gonna take care of the traffic on the street, if everybody's dealing with the march, because we don't know how many people are actually gonna show up, and we gotta block every intersection, depending on the length of people marching. Whether it's 1 block, 2 blocks, to how much we have to close down, because we don't have an idea of, we have 1,000 people, that's gonna be, and they all want to march, it's gonna be pretty long.
Right.
Betsy, do you have anybody that could maybe help at the intersections? Like sometimes when we had those runs and stuff like that, we had volunteers that were with, like the sheriff's department or the police department, for the extra bodies. Put them there in a yellow vest and help.
It's gonna be hard to do on Broadway with the amount of traffic on that street to put a civilian, because they won't pay attention to it.
Right.
But we'll either have to use EMA or us until we get to Main Street. If Main Street's closed, it won't be a big deal. It's just gonna be from Canal down to Broadway, whether we have to actually close that whole section for, 15 minutes it takes to walk through there.
But
We're
you
not gonna know till the day of.
might be able to reach out to the sheriff and see if maybe they could have somebody help come in and help too.
Worst case scenario, we don't get Main Street shut down, but we still have the parking and everything blocked off where we get a lot more space, especially there in front of where the statue is. And so, will the statue be here by then?
Yes, it's going to the boundary.
I wonder, do we have any
Yes, the statute.
police
will be
cars that
passed
if,
on Monday.
like, say, we just do the bike part and the parking, could we set a police car with its lights on to the east of where it's at to kind of help? I know we can have barricades up, but if we had a police car sitting there with lights on in that first parking spot, east of the barricades, that would probably be, that would be definitely
Right.
beneficial.
Could we do that, Dan, with one of your police cars that's out here in the lot? Just park it with the lights on, it running?
We can park it, but with it being unattended, anything can go wrong. Somebody will have to be there.
Bill considered it.
Hmm?
Bill considered it.
Now, who's gonna contact NDOT out of Fort Wayne? Are you?
I guess I will now. I mean, this is the first I've heard of it. I was told everything was taken care of, but I would be happy to call them tomorrow. I can call the circus too and ask how they go about it and how they do, everything to get it blocked for the parade. I can talk to Mr. Beavers.
That might be
Matt Chilcutt might be the best to
I
contact.
was gonna
on
say
that.
Matt was in charge of everything on the parade this
The
year.
secretary would have shipped that, would have done all the paperwork. So if you call the office, she
Okay.
should know those answers.
All right.
And then, if you need NDOT's office, you,
Langston, LL Langston, 2 capital L's, ANGSTON. Oh, man, the rest of the website. But when you get on their website, it'll take you a few minutes. You can start filling out the, yeah. And it'll give you a phone number also for
Great.
And we're in the Fort Wayne district.
Fort Wayne District, yes.
any other discussion on this? Or right now, or?
Just thank you for the creative thinking and trying to get it figured out. I really appreciate it. I think it's gonna be super nice. for-
Well, we're trying to do that and keep everybody safe at the same time without putting the city in jeopardy of being liable for, you know how these truck drivers are, 2 of them come together and one of them blow up and burn the block down. Then they're gonna say, it's all your fault, you closed the street. So, all right, so need to entertain a motion then that,
Okay, I'm going to try to get this through here.
okay,
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we approve the march as requested. We approve the closing of the east-west alley from Huntington Street east to the east side of St. Summers Park property. The alley on the west side of Huntington, be the east end of that alley. Huntington, all of Huntington from Main to Fifth. Main Street, the north side parking spaces from Huntington east to the east side of St. Summers. If the state permit to close Main Street is not issued, the entire east-west alley will be closed.
okay, one other alley we've got to close too would be the west alley from Huntington to Wabash Street, right across from the library.
Because they can
Because if you close Huntington Street, you're gonna have people coming in off of Wabash Street down that alley, just try and see what's going on, why there's barricades down there.
Okay.
So we need to block off the east-west alley between Main and Fifth
Right.
from Wabash to Huntington.
That's my motion.
Okay. Sounds good. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All right. Motion been made and seconded that we close off the east-west alley between Main and Fifth from Wabash to Huntington. We close off north and southbound Huntington Street from Main to Fifth Street. we close off the east-west alley east of Huntington Street to behind Sain and Summers. And we close off all parking from Huntington to the first spot east of St. Summers Insurance on the north side of Main Street, should a permit to shut down Main Street is not granted or not taken. That's how it will be shut down. If we get the permit to shut down Main Street, then you'll have all of Main besides what I just told you. So,
Do we want to restrict the parking on the south side of Main in front of the library? In case we can't close the street, if we have to divert traffic to 2 lanes on
we won't be diverting, it'll be just taking away the parking
just parking.
on the north side.
Right.
Because with taking in the bike lane and the parking, that gives an extra cushion compared to what just a parking lane would be. And the date for this, August 26th,
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
And the time?
March is at 10:30 and the actual event's from 11:30 to 1:30.
Okay. $11:30 to 1:30, March is at 10:30. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. New business. Have a request by Brenda Douglas on behalf of the building department to receive bids for 231 East 9th and also 235 East 9th.
.231 East 9th. Bid amount $359. Carl with a K. Philip Rosenow. .231 East 9th. Bid amount $401.99. LaVar Jones. .235 East 9th. $401.99. LaVar Jones. .231 East 9th. $302. Linda Cook, LYNDI.
Is that C-O-O-K or K-O-O?
COOK.
Lindy. Linda.
.235 East 9th. $302. Lindy Cook. 235 East 9th, $400, Stephanie Graff. $231 East 9th, $400, Stephanie Graff.
That it?
That's all.
That it?
So there wasn't another one for that Carl Rose now? I'll make a motion that we accept the bids as presented to be awarded at a later date.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Bill, to accept the bids as presented to be awarded at a later date. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on, next order of business is request by Melanie Geek on behalf of the Main Street United Methodist Church to have the alley blocked off behind the church while they hold an open house event and have children playing in the parking lot close to the alley. The event's going to be held on August 14th, Saturday, from 3 to 7 p.m. In her letter, it just states, we're having a church open house that will be affiliated with the second Saturday event in August. Our open house will be outside in our side parking lot. We'd like to have the alley blocked off so that there is no traffic behind our church, as there will be children playing games and doing activities. The event is from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, August 14th. And thank you. Let us know if it's possible.
Make a motion, we approve this, approve the Main Street Methodist Church to close the alley for children's.
Second.
I'm going to go out of order here for just a minute before we accept this. Is there any problems that either one of the fire chief or police chief sees? Okay. Motion been made by Bill, seconded by Ron. Grant a request of the alley closing from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, August 14th, from behind the Main Street United Methodist Church. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on, next order of business is request by Geb Keller on behalf of the Knights of Columbus to have a fundraiser for special education teachers to help buy supplies by handing out Tootsie Rolls in the turn lanes of Main and Miami on August 14th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. They want to tell us, you've done this before, right?
Third time.
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
So, any discussion or anything on this? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion we approve the request as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Bill to approve Mr. Keller's request on Knights of Columbus to have a fundraiser by selling Tootsie Rolls in the turn lanes of Main and Miami, August 14th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Communications, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Mr. Attorney, do you have any,
Nothing at this time.
any communications from the audience? I want to thank everyone for showing up. It's really great to have our air conditioner back because it's been rather warm in here. So with that, we're up for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Ron. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.